I'm proud to say this podcast is sponsored by Discover Delicious, an online shop for the finest in Welsh food, drink and foodie experiences from independent producers around Wales. Discover Delicious is the largest collection of Welsh food and drink online. Go to www.discoverdelicious.wales to see more. Hello and welcome back to the Kitchen Clonc podcast, a podcast all about good food, good drink and good company. In this episode, I'm very proud to be joined by Thaer Al-Shayei. Now, Thaer is a Cardiff-based actor who's recently won the Rising Star Award at Cardiff's International Film Festival. He's also starred in a bona fide Hollywood movie and can currently be seen bossing it as Omar in Baghdad Central on Channel 4. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Imran.
Thank you very much for joining and giving me some time today. It seems like it's a very exciting time for you at the moment.
It is, yeah, very exciting.
I mean, how has it been from episode 1 of the show of Baghdad Central to now? It seems like it's just growing. The reviews have been great. So how have you felt the response has been to it?
I felt like the response has been really good because, you know, if you're in the production, you're thinking, oh, is people going to like it? Is people going to boo it? But yeah, we've had wicked responses. And like you said, the critics have given really good reviews. And yeah, I'm really proud and happy about the series.
Have you, has it been really cool to see the response of your hometown Cardiff to it? Because, I mean, looking on Instagram and the social media, it seems people are really proud of what you're doing.
Yeah, it's nice. I think Cardiff is back there, and I think it's fair to say everyone in Cardiff have been watching it. And the response where I've been going with places, people's like, oh, Thaer is really good, I'm really gripped. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, Thaer, I didn't realise it was going to be that good. But after the second episode, I was like, you know what, yeah. They was like, they're gripped, and I was like, oh, thank you very much. Keep watching, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of the series.
And this is really the tip of the iceberg, because I mentioned the Hollywood movie there called Mosul.
That's right.
So that's due for European or UK release later this year?
Yes, that's right. Mosul's due for cinema release. The world cinema premiere is on the 12th of June.
Fantastic. And it actually premiered at the Venice Film Festival,
That's right, yes. It premiered at the Venice Film Festival on September the 5th, 2019.
This is incredible stuff. You must be so proud.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, hard work pays off.
When you were filming these shows, and we'll come on to this, because although I'm fascinated about cinema and TV and filming, we are essentially a food and drink podcast. Do you find that when you've gone to something like Venice Film Festival, what's the food and drink offering like at something like that?
The food and drink offering at something like Venice Film Festival, you can imagine, you're a foodie,
yeah.
You'd love it over there. And obviously I don't drink alcohol, but the wines and the champagnes they were giving, the buffets were like, I've never seen anything like it in my life. The same size as like this, twice as long, and you're just going along and they're just describing everything, and you've got one person with every dish telling you exactly what it is. It's not like one person guiding one table and having to tell you what 6 different dishes are. It's like one person with each thing. So you're, okay, I'll have that. Oh, you would have loved it.
I'd be tucking my napkin into my shirt going, you're about to see something real special, guys. Give me that plate. Not long ago. And in terms of film and movies, what's, for example, Mosul and Baghdad Central were both filmed in?
Mosul and Baghdad Central were both filmed in Morocco.
Okay, and what was the food and drink like on set? What did you get?
Oh, lovely. You can imagine it's tagine and couscous.
Fantastic. So they had local caterers doing
Yeah,
it?
local caterers bringing in the food, and it was just lovely, beautiful.
And did you get any downtime to explore Morocco at all, or was it quite intense when you were there?
Yeah, of course, it was quite intense. With Mosul first, we had to undergo 3 weeks military training with Tiger Swan.
Okay.
How to obviously move like a SWAT team, how to load the guns, and I play the gunner, so I had to learn how to reload the Dushka, which is the machine gun on the top of the Humvee.
Okay.
And yeah, after that, then we'd have downtime, and then we'd go along. We wasn't allowed to go skiing because you got the Atlas Mountains.
Okay, fine.
So we weren't allowed to go skiing. We weren't allowed to rent no mopeds or any push bikes. So that was in the contract.
But you could go out and eat and drink.
Yeah, we could go out and drink. Oh yeah, we was going around. Mosul was filmed in Marrakesh and just out the outskirts. That was good. And then jumping forward, Baghdad Central was filmed all over Morocco. It was filmed in Ouarzazate, Rabat, Casablanca. So I got to see it all. Yeah.
So when you're on foot, they look after you in terms of food and drink and whatever you're needing?
Oh, yeah, no question at all. You're looked after really well.
Is there a lot of downtime in between scenes?
Oh, yeah, of course. You've got to have the patience.
Yeah.
You know, you can come on set. You got 2 scenes maybe, and then you have to wait like 2 or 3 hours till your next scene. But then you've got trailers you're looking after. You can have a couple of hours.
Is there a temptation to snack?
Yeah, of course you can. You go because you've got your tents.
Yeah.
It's called, on set, it's called the green room.
Okay, fine.
So that's where all the actors go and sit in between takes.
And they'll have stuff
in between
there.
scenes, sorry. And there's food in there. So, and they got like cast PAs who will make you food if you want it. They'll go and get you what you want.
Amazing.
So, there's no complaining, and like I said, you got your trailer.
Yeah.
So you can go back to your trailer and have a kip if you want.
Yeah.
Have a couple of hours sleep, and then they'll knock, you're back on set.
See, the green room in MasterChef was very different. It was a drawer full of just sweets and chocolates, and that was that's all you're getting.
Of course, that's to keep you up with the sugar, see,
exactly.
So you don't go flat.
Exactly, and just hype you up.
Yeah.
But like I said at the start, it's all about food and drink, this podcast. So I've got a series of questions about food and drink and yourself. So in terms of food memories, now, a lot of people say smell can attach to a memory. But I feel the same about food, okay? So what are some of your earliest food memories? Growing up?
Some of my earliest food memories growing up is obviously I'm from Iraq, so a famous Iraqi dish is called bamia.
Okay.
Now bamia is okra, ladies' fingers with the okra.
Love okra.
Yes, so we do an okra curry, right?
Yeah.
So it's okra, tomato lumps, garlic, onion, and lamb, with basmati rice, with brown noodles in it.
With noodles in the rice
brown
as well?
noodles in the basmati rice.
Okay, cool.
And then we have the khubz and the Iraqi bread, nice and thick and warm.
So okra is one of those Marmite vegetables for people. I absolutely love it because I grew up with it.
Of course.
And then notice you had lamb in there as well.
Yeah, you have lamb, and it has to be cooked really. You have to get it right.
Is it low and slow?
It'll melt, yes.
Yeah, fine.
Because they've got to stay hard.
Okay,
it's
fine.
reasonably hard,
Yeah.
right? Or some of them they just melt.
Was family food time a thing? Did you all sit down together?
Yeah, of course, we all sit down together. Even now, if I go to mum's and I sit down with my brothers, we all we all eat out the same pot.
Yeah.
It's still the same tradition.
Perfect.
Even when we have the famous Iraqi breakfast, which is fried egg, tomatoes, cucumber, feta cheese,
Nice.
honey, and my mum will fry
Do
the
you
eggs.
have that all together?
Yeah, with bastarma. You know, bastarma is the halal salami.
Oh, very nice.
Right,
Yeah.
and then she'll bring the pan out and just stick it on the table, and then we just with the bread.
I need to try some of that halal salami.
Yeah, in the same eating out the same pan.
That is an amazing picture you've painted for us there. I mean, do you have brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I got 2 brothers, one older, one younger. Yeah.
So 3 of you guys.
That's
okay,
right,
it must have been chaos. Like, mum must have been like cooking
chaos,
on the
obviously, constant. But then as you're growing up, you have different tastes and obviously.
Mum, I don't want to eat that today.
Different flavours, and there's obviously we got another famous dish called Tabouleh.
Yeah.
Tabouleh is the one that's upside down.
Okay, yeah.
So when it's finished, they turn
Turn
the
it
pot
up.
upside down, so the meat's at the top. So when they
Okay.
cook it, the meat's the aubergine, the potatoes are at the bottom.
Would you say meat is quite a meat-based diet, the Iraqi diet?
Yes, I think it's fair to say even the Middle East and the Arabs, man, is lambs.
If meat is not there, it's not a meal. Is that fair?
It's not a meal, man. It's very hard. You find any restaurant or any dish, I think, is fair in the Middle East, which hasn't got lamb or chicken with it. Because you've got quzi. Quzi is the big dish with all the lamb, with a big lamb on the plate.
Well, literally a whole lamb.
Lamb on the plate, and then you got like all the djaj, the chicken dishes, and then all the bread.
That's amazing. Let's see, essentially two favourite things: carbs.
That's right, yeah.
But lots of fresh ingredients as well. Did your mum or did your family do the same thing as my mum did? You'd always cook more just in case anyone came to the house.
Yeah, of course, because you
never knew.
Yeah, in our culture. You know, it's like a 7-course meal. So when the boys come to my mum's, they won't eat all day because they know it's a starter, then it's bread, then it's veg, then it's the main course. Then she'll come back an hour later and say, eat some more. Then you eat some more. Then is the fruit. Then more fruit. And then do you want more food? No. Then is the profiterole rolls. Then is the dessert.
That well-known Iraqi dessert.
Yeah, rolls. Yeah, of course. And then there's the profiterole. So Maxi's the one in like a pyramid pack.
That's proper integration there.
Of course, that's
traditional. Gotta get my.
That's like every day. So now when Ramadan comes, you
Yeah.
can imagine when Ramadan and we're fasting,
Yeah.
it's like cook double for whoever comes. And then obviously the doggy bag.
Yeah.
Don't forget when people are leaving.
Take food.
No, take food
Take
home.
food,
Take food home.
yeah.
And then people will ring me and say, Thaer, his mama cooked today. His mama cooked. I'm back from work, you know.
It's those random aunties and uncles who aren't actually aunties and uncles who rock up.
Of course.
Do you ever grow up and go, Mum, they're not actually related?
No, I know, because growing up, I thought I had about 50 uncles, 50 aunties, thousands of cousins, right?
And they don't come around
because obviously you say ammu, amma, khala, khalu, so you, out of respect, you know, you say auntie or uncle.
Yeah.
But then growing up, we used to say to each other, our family's huge. And then as I grew up, I got to realise we're the only Iraqi family out of my family who lived in Cardiff, and we didn't have no cousins whatsoever.
Exactly.
There was all in Iraq, or all those living all over the world.
Just a sign of respect, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And plus, you don't need to remember their first names then. This is uncle or whoever, or this and that. The Iraqi breakfast you mentioned to me there.
Yes.
Is that something? Is that something that you cook for your family now? Would you do that, or is that only for when you go to mum's?
When I goes to mum's, I wouldn't dare to try and cook any Iraqi dish.
Really?
No, because I know I'd mess it up. I wouldn't dare.
Did you not learn anything from mum?
No, I've watched, and I just know I'm greedy. I'll start dipping in, and the temperature will be wrong, and I'll be out, and everyone got food poisoning.
So not a keen cook, or
no, I'm not going to sit here and lie. No, I can't cook.
No, you can't cook.
No.
So if I said, Thaer, what is your signature dish? Go.
Signature dish?
Don't say beans on toast.
Ready salted crisp sandwich.
The connoisseur's choice. Don't come to me with prawn cocktail.
No. Ready salted crisp sandwich.
See, fame hasn't changed you.
Fame
hasn't changed you. And in terms of, actually, now that we've gone down this route, it was a question I had earlier on. Food guilty pleasures. Do you have a food guilty pleasure?
Terrible.
Go on. What's the worst thing? It's like proper, like just wrong food that you like. For example, I'll tell you mine. I like, those round red cheeses, Baby Bell?
Yeah, that's yours, is it?
That's my guilty pleasure. I literally go through a packet of those. Like, I have them for my kids for snacks. So that's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah, that's your guilty pleasure. Yeah. I think I've got loads. Anything, really.
Go on.
What am I... What, does it have to be food or can it be a drink?
It could be a drink.
The zero, do you know, like zero Cokes?
Yeah.
And I just noticed one the other day, is the Fanta Zero raspberry.
Okay, yeah. That's
my new one. But I'll drink loads and loads of them. That's one of my guilty pleasures. Is I love fizzy drinks, but I do stick on the zero.
Yeah.
Coke I don't like.
Yeah.
Diet Coke I don't like because it just reminds me of flat vodka and Coke.
Okay.
It's just reminds me of that. So I don't drink that. Yeah, nothing diet.
So fizzy drinks, kind of guilty pleasure.
Yeah, fizzy drinks.
You know it's wrong for you, but you really like it.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
And in terms of coming back to the food memories point, what's the best meal? So not like your dream meal or death row meal. What's the most memorable meal that you have? It could be at home or in a restaurant or something that's meant the most to you. Is there a meal that sticks out in your mind?
Yeah, the meal is like the one I said, the bamia, the okra one.
Yeah.
Or you can have the khuzi, which comes with fasulia.
Okay, fine.
Like chickpeas or lentil soup.
Okay.
Shorbat adas. That's very famous with us as well.
So
with lemon on.
That holds good memories for you?
Good memories, yeah. Wherever I go, I ask for it.
Yeah.
Even in restaurants, I say, do you lentil soup? They say, yes, I can have a lentil soup with pepper and some slices of lemon.
Well, a lot of people who watch and listen to this are based in Cardiff and based in Wales. Any recommendations for Iraqi food? Aside from coming to your mum's house?
Yeah, Iraqi food in Cardiff.
Who are these guys there? They said you could.
Yeah.
They said we could come.
Yeah, it's the closest. It's like the Kurdish restaurants, or I think. If you go onto City Road, I think all the restaurants on City Road, all the foreign restaurants, all of them, so they all sell the same thing, but they just in a different way. They taste different.
Yeah, and when you go out to one of those restaurants, are you always comparing it to home, as in, mum can do this better?
Yeah, of course you do. Exactly. It's
this is okay.
Yeah, when we was in Morocco.
Yeah.
And obviously there was Iraqis in the production with us, and Iraqis working on the production, and we were desperate to find okra.
Yeah.
And they call it mulukhia. They don't call it okra. They didn't have it over there. And we managed to find it.
Yeah.
But it was really hard. And then by the time it was Zainab, she was a script supervisor. She cooked it for us.
You convinced the script supervisors to cook for you guys.
To cook for us.
That's good skills.
It just like I said, it went like when you mess up a pudding.
Yeah.
That's how it went. So the okra dissolved. It wasn't as strong as the...
It's just gone to mush.
Yeah, it goes to mush because you've got to have to like cook it right. And it's obviously like with other traditions, I think, and other foods from other different parts of the world, where people compete with it.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we've got to be cooked like this. Like when you go to Lebanon, they don't put the meat in with it. So if you go to a Lebanese restaurant in London and you ask for bamia, which is okra and rice, the meat will come separate. They only cook it with the okra, the tomatoes, basically the sauce. They won't put meat in it. With the Iraqis, my mum will just put chunks of lamb in there for me. Lamb on the bone. It's got to be lamb on the bone as well.
Your eyes right now are saying like, hungry.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to call mum after this.
Yeah, I go to mum's on a Thursday, see. So
do you? I love it. Oh, what's happening in my diary?
Right.
Yeah, oh, mum's on a Thursday. Fantastic. Have you been to Iraq since moving to Cardiff?
The last time I went to Iraq was in 2000.
Okay.
So obviously Saddam and the regime was still there, but it obviously wasn't safe. It had never been safe really since the Gulf War invasion. But yeah, 2000, but that was on the way to Erbil, which is 18 hours in the desert from Jordan, from Amman, through the desert into Baghdad. I spent 2 weeks in Basra, where I was born, and I spent 2 weeks in Baghdad then with my mum's family from Basra, my dad's family from Baghdad. So I spent 2 weeks in Basra, 2 weeks in Baghdad, and then in 2011 I went back, but that was Slemania in Erbil, in Kurdistan.
So are these very remote areas then?
Yeah, like obviously, especially Baghdad. I think now it's more lenient, I think. I think people are living now. They're starting to do things. Shops are being opened. People can do things which they couldn't do before. But again, I'm not saying it's not dangerous.
No,
it's
absolutely
still dangerous. But yeah, it's a bit more easier.
Is the Iraqi diet in peace times, or well, when I say peace times, out of war times, is it largely based on fresh ingredients? And so you were mentioning there, you had, did you say cucumber with breakfast?
Yeah, cucumber, tomatoes, yes, feta cheese. And
you mentioned the fruit as well, so does fruits and
veg?
Yes,
everything. That's why when you go to the Arab countries in the Middle East, they got all these bread stores on every corner. Khabbaz, they're called.
The flatbreads?
Yeah, the flatbread. They cook different breads for you. Yeah. Like in Kurdistan, they're famous for their breads. They're massive. And they just cook it fresh in front of you. Even in Morocco, when we was going over there, we go for the bread in the morning. So they're fresh in the morning, and then they have a couple of hours,
smash
and then they're fresh in the afternoon. So we'd go there with like, I think it was like 5 dirham, which is about 70 pence, probably a pound.
Wow.
And they give you 10. So, and they're huge and they're fresh and they just wrap them up for you.
I think they cook them in a wood-fired oven as well,
they take it into a tandoor. And going to that, you just reminded me. While I was in Morocco, there's another famous, obviously they're famous for their tagine, which is their dish, their couscous.
Absolutely.
They're famous for another dish, which I don't know if you watched it back in December, I think it was, with, it was Gordon Ramsay, the other Italian chef, I forgot his name.
When they
went to Morocco.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, when they went to Jama al-Fana, the famous square.
Yeah.
As we're watching it, I'm telling my mates who I'm sat with, this is where I ate this meat. So this meat, they call it lahm al-maliki. That means the meat of the kings. So they cook it for 6 hours. They stick a whole sheep on a skewer under the ground in a clay oven for 6 hours.
Wow.
Beautiful, right?
A whole sheep.
So they take it out and you buy the meat. You buy the meat by the weight. So I was having a kilo at a time because I'm a big eater. A bit of coriander, a bit of salt, that's all you needed.
So you'll go to the market.
You go to the market, you want this dish, they got the weighing scales, the bread.
So you buy your amount of meat.
You buy the amount and they'll bring you in the back, they'll show you, he'll just move the cover.
Yeah.
And they're down there in a clay oven, loads of them.
Wow.
And they just drag them out, right? And then the meat, beautiful, just falls off.
Or just really tender.
Really tender, just falls off.
And what they serve that with? Some bread, with some salad?
Bread, salad, whatever you want. Tiny bit of coriander, tiny bit of salt, bread. Beautiful.
Oh, mate, I want to go now.
I know.
Now. I really
Let's go. Obviously, health and safety wise, like some people.
Don't worry about that.
I don't care about that. They're like, I couldn't eat in here. You got flies flying everywhere. The metal tables.
Excuse me, what's your food hygiene rating?
Yeah, there's no food hygiene over there.
No, that sounds amazing. Like
you are, yeah.
that's a dish. Yeah. When I was talking about food memories, that sounds like a dish that will stay with you for a long time.
That was the first dish I ate. The second day, because I went there, I landed late in the night. So the next morning, we just had a quick production meeting because not all the cast has arrived.
Yeah.
And the production managers and the director, Matthew, and everyone, they introduced me to Sahil, who plays the lead role.
Okay.
And he said to me, listen, coming down to this is where they sell it, because we all know about it. And I was like, yeah, come on, quick, let's go.
So had you had it before?
No, but we know about it.
Yeah.
It's exactly, we go to certain countries, you hear about their dish, you find a place, don't you? So yeah, he said they sell lahm al-maliki down here in Jama' al-Fana. I said, just bang, straight out the hotel in a taxi, straight there. And we was like, listen, this is us, man. 3-4 times a week we were having it.
I know exactly what I'm doing for my next supper club. I'm going to get me some lambs. Yeah, I'm going to dig me a hole.
Yeah, and this is what I said, because I don't know how it'd work over here, but you know someone opened one over here, they'd absolutely smash it.
Yeah, well, fire cooking or cooking with fire or fire food at the moment is huge, and a dish like that would bang.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely bang.
Back in then when I filmed Baghdad Central, we were staying in Warzazat. Warzazat is an hour away from Marrakesh on a plane. Yeah. So Warzazat means the quiet city.
Yeah.
It's where all like the Atlas Mountains are, the desert, is where all the studios are, where they filmed The Gladiator, The Kingdom, the series. They filmed loads of stuff there. History Channel, National Geographic, series is on like Killing Jesus, stuff like that. They're all over there. Now the Berber, the Bedouins, the Berber, they live in the desert. They cook that meat in the sand with fire.
And they just bury it,
Yes, and they bury it, bang, like this with coal in the fire. And you're looking at it thinking, are you sure this is going to taste nice?
And you taste it.
And it just melts in your mouth and you're like, another half a kilo on the scales. And you're just eating, because it's only meat.
Yeah.
You're just eating it, and when you finish it, I tap my mate, are you still hungry? You say, yeah, mate, check another half on the scales.
But
Should
there's
we check another half on? No.
Because see, it's very different eating culture, isn't it?
Yes.
There's no rush.
No.
Food can go on for a long period of time.
Yeah, of course it can. So when you get the tagines, they're different weights.
Yeah.
So you can have half a kilo. So I always used to have a mixed tagine.
Yeah.
Lamb and chicken. So you pull the pot. I say, mate, any lamb and chicken? He says, yeah. You pull it open and it's sizzling where it's on a hot plate.
Yeah.
And they bring it over.
And you buy per weight.
What's that? Per weight, and you just take the top off and you just go in there.
I know it's about lunchtime here in Cardiff, but I'm absolutely starving right now.
I know.
I mean, you've painted a very colourful picture of Morocco there and Middle Eastern food. But I just want to pick your brain about a few things. So we're going to go a bit quick fire on this for this last little segment. So I'm going to ask you a series of quick fire questions, and I'd love you just to give me your initial first response, okay? So, firstly, tea or coffee?
Tea.
Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
Yes.
Burgers or pizza?
Burgers.
Red wine or white wine?
Don't drink.
Don't drink, I need to answer this. On scones, cream first or jam first?
Cream.
Starters or mains or desserts?
All of them.
I knew you were going to say that. And slightly off topic, Fury or Joshua?
50-50.
Oh, no, don't do that.
50-50.
Well, look, I only asked that last question. Okay, listeners, viewers, I asked that question because Thaer is a boxer, he trains, he's a coach, and I just wanted to pick your brain because it's slightly topical at the moment. Look, my friend, thank you very much for joining us on the Kitchen Clonc podcast. Now, I don't know about you, but I love music. I love to listen to music in the house, especially in the kitchen. Me and my boys like to listen to lots of music, and we often have what we call a kitchen rave, okay? So I'd like you, as the very first guest, or interviewee guest on the Kitchen Clonc podcast, to just give us a song that we're going to put on a playlist. So you can find this playlist on YouTube or on Spotify of a song that you would have in a kitchen rave. So something that would set it off.
Freddie Mercury, Queen, I Want to Break Free.
I want to break free.
Yes,
okay. That's a strong choice. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Thank you very much, and you.
Thank you very much for listening and for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. Do not forget to subscribe, to follow. Please comment, please rate, please share, please tell your friends, and hopefully we'll see you on the next episode. Bye now.